Lakeshore. The season is over. The sun is out. The weather is heating up in West Michigan. It's camp season for the Muskegon Lumberjacks, who tonight kick off the All-Star festivities here at Main Camp 2, Trinity Health Arena, home of the Lumberjacks. The final day of the group stages have come and gone here at Main Camp 2. The best of the best from the four teams that took part in the annual camp now take to the ice against each other for the first of two All-Star games this weekend at Trinity Health Arena. Good evening and welcome inside the Lumberjacks YouTube channel. Ezra Janello, voice of the Lumberjacks, along with you this evening. All-Star game number 1. We appreciate you joining us here on YouTube Live. We'll have some interviews throughout the night with some Lumberjacks players and staff as we get a look at some future faces here on the Lakeshore. So tonight, 2 25-minute halves, stop time. Some of the All-Stars from this Main Camp 2. Now, the Lumberjacks find themselves in a unique situation in which they've been to the Clark Cup final, not one, but 2 consecutive years. So for the second straight season, no returners at Main Camp 2. Most teams will bring back the players that spent the previous year that are coming back for the next season. But the Lumberjacks, playing 2 straight years, a lot of extra hockey, decided to give their returners the summer off. So the new faces, we'll learn all about them tonight and tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for All-Star game number 2. For now, it's the black and white teams. The black team will go right to left across your screens and radios this evening. They're headlined by Lumberjacks tender signing Zach Charbonneau, who will lean in for the opening draw. Zach, a standout top performer at Mount St. Charles this season. Had a strong showing in the group stages, 4 points on 3 goals and an assist in the 4 games this weekend. First one on it in his own zone, Rylan Hansen behind the net near side. Here's AJ Valenti, 2025 Phase 1 draft pick of the Lumberjacks. Spent this year in the BCHL, started in Sherwood Park with the Crusaders, finished off in the Langley with the Rivermen. Near side of the black zone, Charbonneau looks to clear it, joined by John Foy and Alexander Smith on this first shift. Here comes Foy up the near side, pushes it forward. Now Smith to the offensive zone. He fires in and out of the glove of the netminder. That's Luke Courtney, who will play every minute of tonight's game for the white team, the lone netminder for his squad. Makes his Lumberjacks Main Camp All-Star game debut. Back in the black team zone, it's picked up by Zach Shirkey. A Utica, Michigan native, pushes it forward. Courtney pokes it away, keeping it away from Elias Holen. One of the standouts from Main Camp 1, Holen was invited to Main Camp 2 after putting on a spectacular performance against all the free agents and followed it up with 4 points in 4 games in the group stage of Main Camp 2. Holen, joined by Jackson Nakfor and Nolan Mardo, a couple of Lumberjacks draft picks. Mardo, a 2025 Phase 1, Nakfor, a 26 Phase 2 draft pick of the Lumberjacks. Here's Zach Shirkey, another 2025 draft pick. Back to the offensive zone comes Nakfor near side, shaking off the contact from Shea Henriksen. Nakfor far side, leaves off for Mardo, but it's taken away, and here come the white team for the first time tonight. On the near side, Galen Frizzy III, a free agent out of Delaware, Ohio. Frizzy among the camp leader in goals, 4 of them in 4 games this week. He defends his blue line, but in comes anyway Elias Holen, fired on by Mardo and turned aside. Nakfor at his own blue line, helped up by Igor Andreev. And comes back for Christian Connors, the Mustang, Oklahoma native, taken away by the white team and fired on. It was Axel Bisbee firing the shot, but it got blocked in traffic. And here comes Strider Carhart. Regained by the white team and sent deep to the black zone. Shayna Evans, the Huron, Michigan native, getting the nod for head coach Casey Mignon on the black bench. Turns aside a shot from the near wall. That was Jet Zemont firing it. A 2026 Phase 1 draft pick of the Lumberjacks. Zemont spent this previous season playing alongside Zach Charbonneau at Mount St. Charles. Andreev, a shot blockered aside by Courtney. Near corner, here's Andreev, New Jersey native, to the blue line for Valenti. Works across the way. A.J. Valenti, joined by Kaysen Matejcik, the Manitoba native. Taken back by the white team and behind the net. They flip it far side. Axel Bisbee works up the wall. Plays ahead for Nicholas Ciardello. And it's back with the black team in front of their own bench. Near side, Valenti. A shifty D-man. Loves to be effective in the offensive zone, but doesn't forget about the back end. A very responsible two-way defenseman out of Skokie, Illinois. Played for Lumberjacks general manager Jim McGroarty. Not last season, but the year before at Honeybaked. Here's Andrew Fox, fires one just wide. Far corner, here's Cash McElmurray. Taken away by the black team. A collision in the neutral zone. Sees the black team push ahead. Zach Charbonneau looks in front. John Foy taken away. That was the North American League defensive product. Peter Lukey, South Boston, Massachusetts native, spent this year playing with the Maine Nordiques in the NA's East Division. Charbonneau takes it. Taps it for Smith. Taken back by Lukey in his own zone. He'll carry it behind his net to the safety behind Courtney. Chase Rask near side. Led all of Main Camp group games with 8 points. The West Kelowna Warriors alum of the BCHL. Out of Corman Park, Saskatchewan, gives chase on the forecheck. Zach Charbonneau across the way. Shirky pushes ahead. Mardo. Now here comes Elias Holen. Cuts to the middle, but it's taken away. Shea Henriksen the other way. The defenseman leads the rush. Leaves off for Rask, taken back by the black team, and now it's played out to the neutral zone. Nolan Mardo, the first one on it. Backwards. Finds Ari Popovsky. And sent into the white zone. Courtney to the near side for Cole Anderson. Maple Grove, Minnesota native. Played this year at Minnesota High at Maple Grove. Gets off for a change. Well, here comes the black team on a rush. Elias Holen pushed out in front. Good opportunity for Nakfor, went wide. Just over 5 minutes gone here in this first half. 19:54 showing on the center hung scoreboard here at Trinity Health Arena. Holen leads another rush in. He sends it far side. First one on it, Gianfranco Rosella, a Vaughan, Ontario native. Played this past year in the OJHL with the Aurora Tigers. Another graduate of Main Camp 1, making his way all the way here to the All-Star game of Main Camp 2. Luca Filiaggi looked to push it forward, but now Maxim Sergekovs powers his way to the offensive zone. It's taken back by Rosella. He'll lead the rush. Lowers his shoulder and plays it down behind the net. Rosella helped out this shift by Jet Zemont and Luca Filiaggi. Zemont up to the blue line. Finds Matejcik. A long shot. Rebound loose. Zemont tapped it off the pad of Courtney. And we stay scoreless. Jet Zemont gets it again, though he's quickly met by Strider Carhart, the Seagirt, New Jersey native. Played for the New Jersey Rockets 16U AAA team this year. We get our first stoppage. 18:50 to go in this first half. Still scoreless. Let's meet our goalies a bit closer. Luke Courtney, Plymouth, Michigan native, 2008 birth year. A decent size for an M minor, 5'10", 170. Played this year, Little Caesars, 18U AAA. Across the way to start, Shane Evans, another Michigan native, Port Huron. Played with the Oakland Junior Grizzlies 16U squad this year. 6'2", 183 pounds, a bit taller and lengthier in the blue paint. In his own zone, here's Lukey. The former Maine Nordique plays it ahead. Matejcik sends it to the near corner. First one on it. Alexander Smith pops out for Charbonneau. A nice save by Courtney with the dangerous Zach Charbonneau right on the doorstep looking to bang it home. Zach's one of the youngest players at Main Camp. Though he looks like one of the oldest. 6'2", 185 pounds. He's been called a juicy prospect. A very, very talented hockey player who's going to turn a lot of heads this year in Muskegon. A shot from the blue line turned aside. That was John Foy who pulled the trigger. On the near side, Smith goes to work, comes out to Charbonneau. His shot blocked, and on the far side, here's Foy. To the blue line, Hansen, his shot turned aside. It was the defenseman Tomas Zemedis, the youngest skater at main camp this week, younger brother of current Lumberjack Gustas Zemedis, who was in the shooting lane. Now a shot on to Evans, patted aside. Zemedis jumped up in the play. The rebound turned aside as well. Now he gets it down to the corner. Domas, a 2011 birth year out of Barrington, Illinois. 4 games, a goal, and 2 assists for 3 points through the 4 group stage games here at main camp. White team's offside. Curling back, Cash, Mikael Murray. Lays it to the far side and is sent back to the black team's home. Here comes Foy ahead for Charbonneau. Zach sends it deep. First one on it, Will Dystad, the White Bear Lake, Minnesota native. Dystad plays forward. Out of the zone it goes. Galen Frizzy III continuing ahead. Taken away by the black team, and it's Ari Popovsky pushing forward. A stretch pass ahead for Holland, shut down by Dystad. On the near corner it comes. White team zone, it comes up the wall towards Frizzy III. Now Isaiah House flips it across the way. Zach Shirky the first one on it. Another honey-baked product. To the near side, Holland sends it deep. First one on it, Cole Anderson. 2 points in 4 games to start the weekend. Anderson back to his feet, has no stick, kicks the puck to the near side. It's picked up by Nolan Marto. To the blue line it comes. Popovsky, long shot deflected above the glass and into the netting for another stoppage. 16:25, showing on the center hung video board. Rosella back on with Andreev and Zeman. Popovsky and Shirky still alongside him. The face-off, one back by the white team. Rosella gets it at the center ice logo. It's regained by Carhart. Met at the blue line by Popovsky, and here comes the white team in. Colby Chido. Met by Shirky and pushed off possession. Popovsky near side, looks to gain the blue line. He's helped out by a teammate in Zemont, but Chodo sends it white back in. Here comes Shirky leading the rush, looking for the trailer, has him. Zemont works down the slot, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Instead, it comes back to the neutral zone, where Shirky fires it across for Popovsky. A couple of blue helmets and blue pants for Mount St. Charles. Zemont on the 15 Pure team. Popovsky on the 16U team. Here's Axel Bisbee, fires it across the way. Chiado to the offensive zone. A shot goes just wide and out of play off the bottom of the dasher boards. It was Strider Carhart, the New Jersey Rockets product, that pulled the trigger. 15:26 to go in this first half. 2:25 minutes stop time halves with an ice cut in between. We'll get some interviews and hear from some future current Lumberjacks in the intermission. Face-off won by the white team. That was Andrew Fox leaning in across from Zach Charbonneau. Fox near corner, flips it across the way, but again out of play. And so we'll get another stoppage. The face-off moves to the near side. So Zach was ranked 3rd in the QMJHL draft that happened just a few weeks ago. He ended up going in the 3rd round by the Gatineau Olympiques. It was a gamble, hometown team, Gatineau native Zach Charbonneau. But he made it very clear that he's a Lumberjack. He made his commitment to come play here in Muskegon. And as we hear from him later, he's very excited to honor that commitment next season here on the Lakeshore. Here's Fox, works behind the net, met by Charbonneau, taken away by the Lumberjacks tender, and he'll lead the rush up the near side. Charbonneau fires on. It got blocked down by Lukey. Far corner, Charbonneau bangs a body. He's joined by Smith in the effort. It comes across the goal line, poked away by Courtney, and kept down low by Christian Connors. Charbonneau met by Fox once more. Up to the blue line it comes. Fired on, Connors blockered away by Courtney. Way high in the air it goes. Throwing a check, Alex Smith. While the battle comes away, it's Cash McElmurray. He'll lead the rush, the offensive zone. McElmurray, back door, Fox taps on, rebound turned aside as well, not out of danger, it's Amidis. Off the post, then the blocker, the netminder Evans. Not out of danger yet, fired in front. A great look by Fox, and then a shot caught up in traffic. Sees the puck going the way of Zach Charbonneau, who chips it down the ice. Icing called against the black team. So they cannot change. Charbonneau's unit tired but stuck out there. 14 minutes to go in this first half. Face off will stay inside the black team end. Valenti holding in his own zone, right up the middle of the ice. Off the stick of Jackson Knackfor, icing waved off. Near corner of the white zone, 12:23 to go in the half. In the neutral zone, McElmurray flips it across the way. Good step by Cole Anderson, takes a heavy check, but gets the puck deep to the offensive zone. Opportunity for the black team. It's Filiagi. Far side off for a teammate. Andreev now flips to the near side for Popovsky. Works down the wall and away from McElmurray. Back up towards the blue line, but no one home to receive it. The puck all the way back in the black team zone. Cole Anderson on it behind the net. Joined by Rosella. He plays up towards Andreev. Igor Andreev off for Rosella. Fires on, shouldered away. Nice save made by Courtney, keeping the game scoreless. He's faced 7 shots. He's made 7 saves. Andreev, near side for Popovsky, down to the corner and behind the net. Back across the way he goes. Ari Popovsky for Andreev. A long shot through traffic, went just wide. Now Zach Shirky on the near boards, takes a check and plays back for Andreev. His shot blocked by Kaysen Walsh. And it's sent deep to the black team zone by way of Braden White. Long stretch pass for Charbonneau behind the defense, plays it near side. Shirky skates into it, off for Rosella, looking for Charbonneau, it goes up top. Gets it from Connors. Back to Shirky, middle of the blue line, fired on into the glove of Courtney, who holds on for the stoppage. 10:45 to go in this first half. Well, if there's any questions anybody on this YouTube live broadcast has on the players in the game, just go ahead and throw those in the comments section. We'll fill in the information. Shot off the stick of Alex Smith, sailed just wide. Now a redirection from Foy off the side of the net. Charbonneau, their center. Taken away by Isaiah House, played up the boards. Galen Frizzy III, 4 goals in 4 games during the group stages. Pushes it to the offensive zone. House gets it out in front. It comes up to the blue line. It's Amidis who fires one just wide. Looking for House. It's taken away by Smith. 3-on-2 rush for the black team. Charbonneau, top of the circle, fires it just wide of the far post. Up towards the blue line, but Tajcik couldn't keep it in. Instead, it's Jace Rask who clears the zone, and the white team can get a line change. Sent in by Foy, though taken back by the white team. It's fired just wide of Evans. The other way goes Elias Holen. Offside, though. We get a stoppage with 9:41 to go in this first half. How's Jet Seamont doing? Jet Seamont, I think, is a pretty happy camper. Lumberjacks digital media manager Liz Child brought a whole crew of Lumberjacks to Muskegon axe throwing earlier today. Jet was among the bunch that went, filmed some content, had a good time, and he's playing well tonight as well. A shot on to Evans goes just high. Zemont in this camp, 2 goals in 4 games during the group stages, playing alongside Andreev, Filiagi, and Rosella for the black team. Here's Nolan Mardo taken back by the white team. Ciardello fires off the crossbar and out of play. Nicholas Ciardello had 1 goal in the group stages. A former winged beaver at Avon Old Farms. Nearly gave us our first goal of the All-Star game. Far side draw, 1 back by the black team's Jackson Nakfor. Now Mardo, North Dakota State High School champion this year. Mardo clears the zone, off for Nakfor, back to Mardo, far side, looking out in front. The pass never made its way back door, intended for Elias Hole, and instead, here comes the white team. Servjakovs pushes in front, tap just wide of the net. Cole Anderson, the defenseman, snuck down, joining the rush. Now A.J. Valenti, talk about defensemen that love to join the rush. Here he comes up the middle of the ice, fires a stretch pass ahead, looking for Zemont. Now helped out by Hole into the offensive zone. The bouncing puck taken away. Here's Andrew Fox across the way. Met by Hansen, who clears the zone, but Shea Henriksen sent it right back to where it came from. Valenti behind the net. To the far side, pushes forward. The offensive zone comes Chido. Make that Filiagi. Either way, it's a nice save by Luke Courtney, who holds on for the stoppage. 8:04 to go in this first half. Shots are 11-9 in favor of the black team. So 0-0 where it matters. The goalies so far, the ones that are putting on a show for the coaching staff upstairs. Lumberjacks head coach Colton St. Clair, general manager Jim McGroarty, and assistant GM Wade Chido all watching along from upstairs, alongside Lumberjacks president Steve Loan. Shea Henriksen, 2026 Phase 1 pick, plays it across the way. Shirky defending, forces it down to the corner. But now Fox, a tough angle shot, paddled aside by Evans. Fox far side up to the blue line. Axel Bismuth out, works down towards the top of the circle. His shot got blocked, and now Igor Andreev using every inch of his 6'2", 205-pound frame to clear the zone. Ari Popovsky off for Zach Shirky. Up the far side, it's tapped in by Alex Smith. Down to the corner, Smith behind the net, the wraparound attempt. Blockered aside by Courtney. Sent back in by Christian Connors. Henriksen, the first one on it, swipes it far side. Here's the point leader from the group stage, Jace Rask. Met by Charbonneau, it's played behind the net towards Henriksen. He keeps it away from John Foy, and now here comes the white team, the rush, led by Frizzy the third. Down to the near corner, it's regained by Solomon Wolf. Wolf met by Rask. A battle ensues in the far corner. Frizzy the third flips it to the near side, and here's John Foy. Off for Connors, behind the net, back to the near corner. Ahead for Foy, poked off his stick, but Connors, strong puck support, takes it back. Ahead for Charbonneau and regained by Walsh. Case and Walsh protecting the puck. Helped out on his own end by Lukey. Kept in by the black team. Here's Foy, back door, they score! Zach Charbonneau! The tender opens the scoring just like he did in the group stage. And it's 1-0 for the black team with 6:10 to go in this opening period. Charbonneau from Foy. After a great keep in the offensive zone by the black team, helps them hold on and take a 1-0 lead. Far side. Nolan Mardo now goes to work. Back to the blue line. Valenti fires one just wide. Matejcik drops down to the corner. Matejcik, 6'5", 225 pounds. Similar stature to Lumberjacks defenseman Carter Amico, a second-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers. Icing called against the white team. And so the face-off will come back to the white zone. Face off far side. One back by the white team. Mardo flying through, though, now pinned to the boards, helped out by Jackson Knackford. Strider Carhart in the effort for the white team. Mardo comes away with it, looks out in front. Valenti dropped for it. Wasn't able to catch the pass that never got to him. Forced out of the zone by the white team. It's Giardello, flips it across the way, looking for Carhart. Instead, finds Mardo, who gets it deep. Partial line change for each side. Fresh on the ice, Filiaggi for the black team. Off for Knackford. Looking up towards the blue line, and Hansen, it's taken away, and here comes Giardello. Off for Fox near side. Jackson Foxy fires on. It's ramped out of play with 4:45 to go in this opening frame. Faced off one by the black team in their own zone. Go on the near side, it's McElmurray, fires on in and out of the glove of Shane Evans. Up to the blue line, Zemaitis, his shot blocker aside by Evans as well. Tomas gets it in the neutral zone. To the near side it goes. Looking to get it in, Braden White flips it across to Zemaitis, who chips it deep. On the near side, Braden White tripped up, plays out in front. He's looking for Fox, who eventually gets it up at the blue line. To the near side for White. Kicks it to his stick, but he's quickly met by a pair of black jerseys. One of them, Gianfranco Rosella, takes it away. And now in the neutral zone, it's Filiaggi. Regained by Zemaitis in his own end. Now Rosella, far corner, leaves off for Zemont. Down low, Filiaggi. Off for Zemont. Met by the defenseman Will Dystad and cleared out of the zone. Here's McElmurray. Chipped in, knocked down, and held on to by the netminder, Shane Evans. Let's take a look back at that Zach Charbonneau goal after a great keep by Nolan Mardo. A beautiful pass by John Foy. And the black team took a 1-0 lead in this first All-Star game. Puck cleared out of the black team zone. It's sent right back in by Axel Bisbee. 2008 birth year out of Minnetonka, Minnesota. Bisbee spent his season playing two different places. Started in the Blake School, Minnesota High School Hockey, finished with the Minnesota Mallards. Here comes his team, the white team. Galen Frizzy III off for Isaiah House. To the far side, here's Bisbee at the blue line. Takes a step and fires. Rebound, loose, they score! The white team evens it up. 1-1, it's Galen Frizzy III cleaning up the rebound on the near side. And with 2:57 to go in this opening frame, we're back squared. A great look in the offensive end. It starts with Bisbee, a long shot, and then a rebound out in front for Fizzy III to tap to the back of the cage. Bisbee in his own zone, behind the net. Met by a black jersey, that's John Foy. Back on with Smith. And Charbonneau. An errant pass intended for Smith. Turns into an icing against the black team with 2.5 to go in this opening period. Face-off comes back to the black team zone. Zach leans in, his counterpart, Colby Chido, one back by Charbonneau, chipped way high in the air and out of the zone. On it, Cole Anderson plays back up the middle of the ice. Chipped in onto Evans, and he'll just hold on with a white jersey, ending up inside the blue paint. It gives the black team a chance to switch their unit. Nolan Marto's crew back on. Joined by Jackson Knackform and Elias Holland. Holland just a step ahead of the play. Backs out of the face-off circle. That's one back by the white team. Bisbee down the wall. Back up top it comes to Anderson. Curling away from Holland. Looks across the way, finding Servjakovs. Back up top, it's Bisbee. His shot blocked by Holland. Number the West Bend Power of the North American 3 Hockey League this season. Holland looks to clear the zone, but can't quite do so. Instead, here's Ciardello working down the near side, out in front. Great opportunity for Servjakovs, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Instead, Holland chases the neutral zone, and it's sent back in by Servjakovs, gloved down by Evans, and here's Matejchuk. Off for a teammate in Solomon Wolf. To the near side, looking for Holland, can't connect. Instead, Braden White working one-on-one on Wolf. Lowers his shoulder, pushes towards the cage. By the time he did so, though, AJ Valenti was there to shut it down. Marto looks to clear his own end. Plays backwards for Valenti as we tick down towards a minute remaining in this first half. A 1-1 tie game. Zach Charbonneau and Galen Frizzy III, the 2 goal scorers. Here comes Marto up the far side. Nolan to the offensive end, pushes out in front looking for Knackform, but the 2 unable to connect. Now on the near side. Across the way it goes with Case and Walsh, popped out in front looking for Fox. Wouldn't go. In front, Rosella couldn't grab the pass. The white team takes it back. It's the defenseman Shea Hendrickson out of Elmhurst, Illinois. He's got to defend, and he does, taking it away from Elias Holland. Holland gets it back at the center ice logo to the offensive zone. He skates, just 18 seconds to go in the period. It comes out, fired on, just wide by Rylan Hansen. Now Jed Seamon down for Rosella. Taken away by Walsh in his own zone. 5 seconds to go in the period. Valenti picks it up, looks up at the clock, and decides to hold on and keep it in his back pocket. It's a 1-1 tie after one half. A couple of pretty goals. The first one, Zach Charbonneau, the Lumberjacks tender signing, making the game 1-0 on this goal. A pretty passing play by the black team, resulting in a great goal by the Lumberjacks tender signing. And then it was the white team that responded. A free agent, Galen Frizzy III, cleaning up a rebound out in front after a long shot from Axel Bisbee of the Minnesota Mallards in the North American Hockey League. Don't go too far. We take a step aside and come back with some interviews and some special content from around main camp this week.
Think back to the beginning. That first game. That first jersey. That first moment when you knew you'd found your place. What you wear today started with a feeling. A feeling that changed everything. NHL Shop, a Fanatics experience.
Your best source for everything hockey is here. The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every game.
McDavid for the net, score!
Off-the-ice player content you won't find anywhere else.
You guys have a helmet I could throw on for this?
The most NHL Edge advanced stats and game analytics, and ways to catch up on the game how you want, when you want. When it comes to following the NHL, don't settle for anything else. Hockey is better on the NHL app.
Orthopedic Associates of Muskegon is the largest orthopedic practice on the Lakeshore. Our fellowship-trained sports medicine specialists will help you choose the best treatment for your injury. Whether that's a non-surgical approach like physical therapy, bracing, or pain management, or the latest surgical technique, you can be the active, healthy person you were meant to be. Call us today to make an appointment, or make an appointment online at oamkg.com.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Jervis Fethke Insurance Agency in Muskegon if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
Hockey hits harder on Flow. One-time shot, he scores! At Flow Hockey, we love the game. Every shift, every hit, every goal. From rising phenoms to historic programs, get front row access to hockey's future stars. The AHL, the ECHL, the USHL, the O, the Q, and more. Don't just watch hockey, live it. Get your annual Flow subscription now.
Welcome back inside the Lumberjacks YouTube page. Ezra Janello alongside you this evening. Main Camp game, All-Star game number 1, Main Camp 2 weekend. The Lumberjacks getting a nice look at some future faces to make their way to Trinity Health Arena and the Lakeshore. Now, this is a tryout, maybe not just for this season, but for future years as well, for both Lumberjacks affiliate players that were drafted through the USHL draft process or signed outside of that draft process, but also for some free agents who are looking to be signed or maybe even drafted by the Lumberjacks in the future. But one guy who knows he's going to be in a Lumberjacks uniform this season and is super excited about it is Zach Charbonneau, the standout 2010 birth year out of Gatineau, Quebec. Charbonneau played this past season at Mount St. Charles. He played alongside the cousin of a pretty good Lumberjacks alumni, currently playing in the National Hockey League. And he gets to come continue that tradition of great French-Canadian hockey players here on the Lakeshore. Let's send things downstairs to a pregame interview we did with Lumberjacks tender signing Zach Charbonneau. Jacks fans, Ezra Janello, joined by Lumberjacks tender signing Zach Charbonneau. Zach, officially now, welcome to Muskegon. Main Camp 2 is, really the first step to making your jump to the USHL. How does it feel to finally be here on the Lakeshore wearing that Lumberjacks jersey?
It feels great. Since December, since I signed here, it's been a good time, and I can't wait to be here in September and play my first game in front of the fans here.
Now, you signed your tender signing in December. You were actively wearing a boot. You were dealing with a lower body injury. You came back from that injury, though, a good, strong end of the season for you guys, a run to Nationals. What was the second half of the year like for you over at Mount?
It was great. The start of the year, I feel like from September and November at Mount, it's always a bit harder. New guys, first times for some guys leaving home and being with the dorm. But no, the second half is where everyone dials in and where everyone becomes more closer. So the second half was so fun, and we had a a good path, and we made it short at Natties, but everyone was like super sad to leave, and it was one of the best years of my life.
You mentioned for a lot of players going to Mount St. Charles, it's their first experience away from home for you, a Gatineau, Quebec native.
Yeah.
You were best friends with the cousin of a pretty well-known lumberjack, Sasha Boisvert, another Quebec native, his cousin Thomas, who was elected first overall in the Q draft just a few weeks ago over at Mount with you. So I'm sure there was a little bit of familiarity for you with the Lumberjacks organization heading to this season.
Yeah, well, first of all, I can't be more happy for Thomas to go first overall. I had the chance to meet Sasha a few times, and I only heard good things about Muskegon, and I've obviously talked to a lot of people, and I was so comfortable to come here, and I don't think I'm regretting my decision. So I just can't wait to get started, and in September get our wins, and make a run for the Clark Cup.
I love that. 3 straight appearances would be pretty special here in Muskegon.
That's the goal.
So let's talk hockey real quick here.
Yeah.
So you're a big-bodied power forward, right?
Yeah.
You can tell just you were the second youngest player in main camp, and it looked like you were one of the oldest guys on the ice. So using that big frame, using the skills, kind of give me a breakdown. If you had to write a scouting report on yourself, what would you say?
Yeah, well, I'll say I'm a high offensive forward. I think I'll just play my role in the defensive zone. The defensive zone is not where I'm the best at, but if I only play my role and have my stick on the ice, I'll be fine. And but when I get on the offensive side of the ice, that's where I make everything happen, and I just try to make everyone better around me. I try to use my skating. My shot is something I like to use a lot, and obviously my body. When you have one like me, you have to use it. So I feel like I'm a player that has a lot of attributes, and I use them pretty well.
And you've used them pretty well so far this week. 4 games so far through main camp in the group stage. 4 goals and 3 assists, something like that.
Yep.
2 assists. Either
Yep.
way, you're well over a point per game producer through the group stage. We're getting ready for the All-Star Game 1 later tonight, and tomorrow morning All-Star Game 2. What are you most looking forward to in these All-Star games?
Well, obviously it's going to be all of the best players. That's what are the best games. You play against the best players. You get a better idea of who could make a spot on the team in September, and obviously just get a better compete, and it's like the second phase, let's say, of main camp, and it's where players really want to have a spot in September. So it's going to be a battle, and can't wait to be out there and compete against everyone.
That's awesome. Well, Zach, thanks so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you tonight at the
Thank
All-Star
you.
Game.
Sounds good.
Muskegon Community College offers a total of 20 collegiate sports, the most of any other community college in the state of Michigan. From baseball and softball, golf, volleyball, soccer, basketball, track and field, cross country, bowling, and more. Students also compete against other colleges online as members of the Jayhawks esports team. Students may come to MCC to defend the nest, but they are also pursuing more than 80 areas of study, including environmental science, nursing, welding, music, and art. Jayhawks have access to our spacious health and wellness center with fitness equipment, a full-size basketball court, and indoor track. MCC also provides a number of community resources, including a planetarium, natural area, theater, and golf course. To learn more, visit muskegoncc.edu. And let's go Jayhawks!
Orthopedic Associates of Muskegon is the largest orthopedic practice on the Lakeshore. Our fellowship-trained sports medicine specialists will help you choose the best treatment for your injury. Whether that's a non-surgical approach like physical therapy, bracing, or pain management, or the latest surgical technique, you can be the active, healthy person you were meant to be. Call us today to make an appointment, or make an appointment online at oamkg.com.
Welcome back inside the Lumberjacks YouTube channel and All-Star Game number 1 of Main Camp 2. Ezra Janello, voice of the Lumberjacks, along with you this evening. Tonight, 6 p.m. puck drop here at Trinity Health Arena for All-Star Game number 1. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. puck drop, nice and early in the day. So if you're at work, you can join us right here on YouTube Live. It's been a fun one so far. 25 out of the 50 minutes down, and a 1-1 tie game between the white and black teams. You see the team white making their way back on the ice. First, it was Zach Charbonneau who opened the scoring in the first period. The Lumberjacks tender signing off assists from John Foy and Nolan Marto, who kept the puck in the offensive zone. A pretty passing play by the black team resulted in Charbonneau finding the back of the net. And then later in the frame, it was the white team in the final stages of it who found the back of the net. It was Galen Frizzy III who started off Main Camp 2 with a hat trick in Game 1. He was a member of Team Gold. Was able to find the back of the net to tie the game up at 2 apiece. There you see Trinity Health Arena. It is the oldest rink in the USHL. I'm a little biased, but I'll tell you, I think it's the prettiest rink in the USHL. You know, you've got some big arenas around. You've got Fargo and Sioux Falls and Green Bay. Pretty awesome facilities around the league. But I'll tell you what, this is just the perfect junior hockey barn here in downtown Muskegon. And I'm not a Muskegon local. I mean, I am now, but I'm not a native. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I went to ECHL games in a big 8,000-seat arena in downtown Trenton, New Jersey, and I'll still take this every day of the week. So the teams are back on the ice. We get set for half number 2. Just two 25-minute halves between these two teams. And then we get to take a break and go till tomorrow. Shots in that first half, 15-13 in favor of the white team, who will go back again with Luke Courtney between the pipes, though a new face in goal for the black team. There you see Luke Connolly, who will play the second half for the black team. Connolly, a native of Royal Oak, Michigan, spent this year playing 18U AAA hockey with Big B Hockey Club. The team switched sides. The black team going left to right across your screens and radios in this second half. They start with possession. It's carried into the offensive zone by Smith, but taken away by Cash McElmurray. Another Royal Oak, Michigan native, played this year at Honeybaked on that very talented 15U team. Here's Cole Anderson keeping the puck in the offensive zone. Anderson on it, turned aside the rebound, loose for a moment. Well, Luke Connolly jumping on top, getting his first chance to feel the puck here in this game. One of the crazier parts of Main Camp 2 is when you think about the fact that these teams, they came into Muskegon on Friday morning. They've all had practice Friday morning. They had a game Friday night. 2 games on Saturday. Everybody played a game earlier today, and now they're playing their second game of the day for the 3rd consecutive day, and then they'll play another one tomorrow morning. No such thing as an off-season body. You have to be mid-season form year-round. Far side wall, Fox looks to clear the zone. He's unable to. It comes back to the near side for Will Dystad. Now Braden White pushes it forward. Anderson joining the rush. The defenseman leaves off for Fox. Takes it away from a member of the black team. Fires on the rebound. Loose and they score. The white team takes a 2-1 lead. It's Cash McElmurray cashing in right on the doorstep. And it's 2-1 with 23:51 to go in regulation. That was a pretty goal by McElmurray. Let's take a look at it on the replay. It's Fox and Anderson that really get things going on this play, but then Cash just cashing in right on the doorstep, cleaning up the rebound right out in front. McElmurray, 3 goals in 4 games so far here in Main Camp. Adds another one with an assist from Fox to take a 2-1 lead. Back the other way comes Frizzy the third. He pushes on, kicked aside by Connolly. Bouncing puck taken by Isaiah House. Up to the blue line he goes. Kaysen Walsh across the way, fired on. It was Zemaitis pulling the trigger, and now it's corralled by Frizzy the third. Back to Zemaitis, another shot. This one into the glove and held on to by Connolly for the stoppage. Tomas Zemaitis is going to play hockey back home in Illinois this year. His brother expected to be a Lumberjack for the second consecutive year. A lot of Lumberjacks fans can be excited for that. Gustas, he earned his way onto the Lumberjacks roster multiple years coming to main camp, being told he wasn't ready. Finally, he got that invitation to training camp, and he made the most of it, helping the team to his second consecutive appearance in the Clark Cup final. Tomas would like to play in the Clark Cup final as well. In fact, he was here in this building for games 3 and 4 just a few weeks ago. He'll carry it to the far side of his own zone and back behind his net. Zemaitis leaves off for Kaysen Walsh, and now here's Jace Rask. To the center ice logo, it's Frizzy the third, taken away by the black team. Sent ahead, Solomon Wolf gets it up the ice, but Axel Bisbee sends it back to Wolf in the neutral zone. Wolf sends it deep. Courtney behind the net off for Bisbee, who picked up an assist in the first period. Bisbee now has 2 points in 5 main camp games. Tall defenseman Axel Bisbee, 6'4", 195, but moves really well. He's got to defend as an area pass for Luca Filiaggi, just a bit too hot to handle. It allows Luke Courtney to put an end to the play. 22:05 to go in regulation. 2-1, the white team, they lead it. Charbonneau's unit back on the ice. He's got the lone black team goal. He's flanked by Alex Smith and John Foy. The draw won by the white team. Bisbee and Charbonneau come together. Zach takes possession, though he's pinned to the boards. Smith fishes it out, plays up top. Matejchuk fires. It's turned aside. It was redirected in the low slot. Smith keeps it in, but only momentarily. Strider Carhart clears it. And now here comes Serge Jacobs, the Richmond Hill, Ontario native. Taken back by A.J. Valenti. Off for Charbonneau and back to Valenti. Hits the brakes, crosses the blue line. Valenti off for Smith. Banned on a pass across the way. Carhart takes it back and pushes forward for Sergekovs. Cuts across the slot. Fox far side. Off for Bisbee. The shot into the glove of Connolly, who holds on for the stoppage. 21-14. Showing on the center hung video board, scoreboard here in Trinity Health Arena. Face off far side of the black team zone. It's Charbonneau who leans in again for it, though this time Andrew Fox, fresh off an assist, leans in across from him. It's won by Charbonneau, and here comes Smith, gains the red line and sends it deep. Behind the net, Courtney stops it. Back to the near side it comes for Braden White. Regained by Charbonneau and sent deep. Far side, Nolan Mardo looking up to the blue line for Matejchuk. Instead, it comes in the neutral zone. Here comes Fox, near side, fired on. He sent it just wide. Looking to clear the danger, Elias Holen doesn't know where it is as it comes back to the neutral zone. The white team look to get back to the offensive zone. Matejchuk dropped his stick, gets back into possession, and here comes Charbonneau, sprung on a rush, pulls the trigger, but a great stick by Peter Lukey in the shooting lane, turned it aside, but now Nolan Mardo, his try blocked. A follow-up effort turned aside by Courtney, who holds on for another stoppage. Well, we talked to Zach Charbonneau. We heard his interview from earlier today. Big power forward, loves to score goals, loves to use the elite shot that he has. He projects to be a goal-scoring power forward, which is every NHL general manager's #1 item on their wish list every year at the NHL draft. Charbonneau, top prospect for the 2028 NHL draft. Far corner of the black zone, Galen Frizzy III leaves off for Rask. Low far pad shot, rebound tapped on. It was Keishan Walsh who now gets his own rebound far side. Up top to Rask between the circles. His shot blocked off the shin pad of Elias Holland. The white team get it back down low. Ari Popovsky there for the black team. Rask takes it back up top to Anderson. Another blocked shot for Holland, and now Mardo gets it to him, but great play by Anderson to cut down the breakout pass. It's Popovsky on it in his own zone. Leaves off for Jackson Nakfor, who will set up a structured breakout. Far side Popovsky to the near side, Nolan Mardo. Gains the red line and sends it deep. Behind the net, Holland. Played last year in the North American 3 Hockey League. Tier 3 junior hockey. He was one of the most impressive players at Main Camp 1. One of the more impressive free agents at Main Camp 2. That's why he's skating here in the All-Star game. Here comes Nicholas Chiardolo. Future Brown men's hockey player. To the blue line now, it's Bisbee. Across the way, Zemaitis. His shot blocked by Holland again. That's 3 of them on this shift. For Elias Holland, the North Pole, Alaska native. Behind the net, Christian Connors. Far side for Holland. Can't clear it. Carhart keeps it close. Connors flips it to Shirky near side. A pass for Filiagi. Clears the zone. Giving chase, Jackson Nakfor, but the black team can get a much-needed line change. Here comes White. It's Zemaitis leading the rush. Taken away by Holland. Near side, Chido. Plays down behind the net. McElmurray, fresh off his goal, back on the ice. Can't keep it in. Here comes Andreev. Stumbles a bit, but gets back to his feet. Continues to battle. Igor Andreev poked away, but a great follow-up effort by Filiagi. Turned aside by Courtney. Axel Bisbee behind the net. Plays it across the way. Jet Zemont on it. Looking to keep it in, but it's cleared down the ice by Andrew Fox. Solomon Wolf on it. To the near side. Pushes forward. At the red line. It's taken away by the white team defenseman Shea Henriksen. An Elmhurst, Illinois native. Played on the Chicago Mission 15U AAA team this year. On the near wall, it's played down towards the corner. Wrapped across the way. Great play by Henriksen, cuts it down, works along the goal line. Leaves off for Fox, back out in front, they score! It's Cash McElmurray again. From Fox again and again. The white team cashes in. It's 3-1 with 17:12 to go in regulation. Well, watch Fox here. He just throws it out in front, and Cash McElmurray, a big power forward out in front. 5'11", 178, but plays bigger than he's listed. Loves to get to the net front area and score goals right on the doorstep. His second of that variety makes it 3-1 in favor of the white team. Here comes Charbonneau. Back to his white stick that he used for the majority of the group stage games. Switched to black here on Sunday. And to start this game, the offensive zone, McElmurray off for Fox. Far side, firing on, blockered away by Connolly. Behind the net, Lukey. The offensive zone, the defenseman activated, working across from Matejchik. Puck comes up the wall, looking to clear it. Alex Smith finds Solomon Wolf. Great play, though, by John Foy. He'll lead the rush. Taken away by White. Played back to the offensive zone. It's McElmurray. Off for Fox, near side, back door. Connolly sliding out of the crease. Able to get a pad on it and keep it out of the back of his net. Far side wall. It's back with Andrew Fox, the Hickory Creek, Texas native. Fox down for McElmurray. It's chipped high in the air and down the ice. Not enough mustard for the icing as the first one on it, Cole Anderson. Off for Dystad, stretch pass for Isaiah House. And now here's Rask in front. Great save made by Connolly, who got a piece of it to send it above the glass and out of play with 15:52 to go in regulation. Well, the black team, they opened the scoring early in the first period. Zach Charbonneau found the back of the net, but 3 straight goals since then. Galen Frizzy III, he got the first one to tie the game before the end of the first half. And then Cash McElmurray, a couple of goals off a couple assists from Andrew Fox, has his team leading by 2. Face off far side of the black zone, won by Isaiah House for the white team. He looked to send it out in front. Jace Rask, the intended receiver, instead intercepted by A.J. Valenti. And now it's Nolan Mardo sending it deep. Behind the net, Courtney played to the near side. With speed, here's the defenseman Cole Anderson. Pushed off possession by Rylan Hansen. Valenti takes it. Now Hansen ahead for Mardo. Cleared out by Nakfor, and here comes Holen. The offensive zone. Isaiah House takes it away, met by his number sink, and Mardo cuts to the middle. Poked off a Mardo's stick, and here's Rask. Working 1-on-3 while the rest of his line changes. Rask down behind the net, thrown up in front. It goes towards the blue line for Colby Chido. Back with Valenti. And on a Honeybake team coached by Lumberjacks general manager Jim McGroarty. They made the jump to the junior hockey landscape, played in the BCHL last year with 2 different organizations, Sherwood Park and Langley. In his own zone, Domas Zemedis flips it far side. First one on it, Chido plays up the wall. Strider Carhart there to help out, and now Zemedis near side. Finds Sergekovs. Nice move, Sergekovs fires on. It's kicked away by the netminder Connolly. Up to the blue line it goes, Case and Walsh. Across the way, Sergekovs in front. Carhart spins and fires. A nice save by Connolly, who this time is able to corral the rebound and hold on for the stoppage. Face off near side. Strider Carhart leans in. It was a cross from Gianfranco Rosella. Here comes Filiaggi. Looking for Jet Zemot. The 2 couldn't connect. Instead, Case and Walsh to the near side. Plays off for Carhart. Tapped ahead to Chido. Oh, a great step by Ari Popovsky at his own blue line. Sends the puck into the white team bench. And we'll get a neutral zone faceoff. New units for the white team. McElmurray, White, and Fox back on. They're responsible for 2 out of the 3 white team goals. Here's Filiaggi near side. Rosella ahead. Shirky leads the rush. Sends it down low. First one on it, Shea Henriksen. To the near side it comes. Braden White clears it. Here comes Andrew Fox. Pushes it in for McElmurray. Regained by Rosella. Played for the Aurora Tigers in the OJHL this year. It's sent deep off the skate of Popovsky. First one on it, a black jersey, so icing waved off. Solomon Wolf gets it behind the net. Zemot met by Henriksen. Jet into the boards now by Axel Bisbee as it comes away to Braden White. Flipped across the way. Here's the fresh-legged Solomon Wolf. Back for Rosella to the offensive zone. Gianfranco Rosella. Near side for Christian Connors. Fired on. Rebound loose, but swiped up and held on to by the netminder Courtney. Making a great save and keeping his team ahead by 2. Here you see the shot from Connors. Just get it to the net front area. Let your forwards go to work. Luke Courtney able to sweep up the rebound off the ice. It leads to an offensive zone draw for the black team. Charbonneau's unit back on for it. Zach wins it. Now backhanded on net by Alex Smith. Turned aside. Charbonneau behind the cage to the near side. Back out in front. It went off the netminder Courtney. And then one of his defensemen sent it down the ice Icing called, and we'll get another offensive zone draw for the black team. Charbonneau with Alexander Smith, a Franklin, Tennessee native. Spent this year in the OJHL with the St. Thomas Stars. 2 assists for 2 points in 4 games in the group stage. Face-off won by Charbonneau again, and Smith again gets a shot off. A nice save once more by Luke Courtney. And now Isaiah House working up the ice. It's taken away by Solomon Wolf. Left off for John Foy, the Upper Saddle River, New Jersey native. Wolf looking for Smith is taken by House. Looking for Galen Frizzy III. It comes back to Axel Bisbee. In his own zone, Bisbee played some North American League hockey this year with the Minnesota Mallards. Near side finds Rask, and across the way, it's Colby Chido to the offensive zone. Taken back by John Foy. Now Chido up top to Bisbee. Couple Minnesota natives connecting. Bisbee works down the wall, is taken away, poked away by Christian Connors, and sent down the ice. Icing called. The first one on it, Will Dystad wins the race across from Nolan Mardo. Well, it's a fun game that USHL coaches, GMs, presidents, along with those in the NHL and other levels as well. What do you want? You want size? Do you want speed? Do you need a combination of both? You need guys like Nate Larioza on the back end. Well, Will Dystad and Axel Bisbee, both defensemen on the ice right now, bring the size and bring the speed as well. Dystad looking for a pass. It comes up to the blue line, but instead for Servchikov, who sends it down low. Colby Chido up top to Bisbee. The puck escapes the zone, and here's Dystad. Well, Dystad 6 feet even, 198 pounds. Axel Bisbee 6'4", 195. Here comes Holland, near side Mardo. Great touch, finds Wolf to the offensive zone. Solomon Wolf near side, swipes it behind the net. First one on it, Will Dystad lays it ahead. Servchikov to the offensive zone. It's taken away by Jackson Knack for puck. Goes off a player in the bench, and so the whistle blows, and we get a stoppage with 10:44 to go in regulation. A 3-1 lead in favor of the white team. Jackson Knack 4 leans in, helped out by Nolan Mardo. They get it back to Valenti. Now here comes Mardo near side. Away from Dystad. Make that case and Walsh, and now here's Cole Anderson. Matejcik looked to get it deep. It comes back to Valenti. Pushed forward for Elias Holland. But Johnny on the spot. Cash McElmurray took it away. Fox now in his own zone. Head up, feet moving. A saucer pass ahead finds Braden White. White, nifty move, works in and fires on, though it goes off a deflection and out of play. Braden White showing off the hand-eye coordination on a quick rush up the ice. One hand on his stick, and then was able to get a shot off before it was deflected away by Kason Matejcik. Matejcik, 6'5", 225, a 2007 birth year out of Dominion City, Manitoba. Had a quick cup of coffee in the Western Hockey League, but spent the majority of the year last year playing in the MJHL. Here's Fox right back up the near side, working on Matejcik. Cuts to the middle. Matejcik pokes it away. Rosella picks it up. Looking for a centering pass for Jet Zemont, though it's regained by Braden White. Pinched off by a pair of black jerseys, and here comes Matejcik leading the rush. Up the middle, he kicks out far side, finding Igor Andreev. Andreev kicks out for Rosella. Back out in front, poked away by Courtney. Rosella jumps up, gets a piece of the puck, but it comes backwards to Valenti in his own zone. A.J. Valenti out of Skokie, Illinois. Pushed up the near side, finds Matejcik at the red line. He'll send it deep and get off for a line change. Courtney behind his net, off for Zemaitis. Now Axel Bisbee on it, the 2008 birth year out of Minnetonka. 9 minutes to go in regulation. Game 1 of this main camp All-Star Series. Zemaitis near side for Bisbee. Ahead for House, though it bounced over his stick, and icing called against the white team. So the faceoff will come all the way back to the white zone. And the black team can choose what side they want. Zach Charbonneau wants it on the near side. Charbonneau joined by Alexander Smith and John Foy. Hansen and Popovsky behind him. One back by Isaiah House. Cleared to the blue line and into the neutral zone. Now here comes Jace Rask, the offensive zone. Couldn't finish the toe drag, but it comes back to him. Now Popovsky looks to clear it. It's taken back by Isaiah House, the Troy, Michigan native. House, 5 points on 3 goals and 2 assists through the 4 group stage games here at Main Camp 2. Here comes Zach Charbonneau to the offensive zone. Up the middle of the ice, up for a teammate. It's Foy who fires one high. Charbonneau gets the loose puck. Zach turns and cycles it down the wall. It's taken away by Rask, and here comes Frizzy the third. Plays out in front for Carhart. Out of the blue line it goes. Rask sends it back in. The black team starts a line change while they progress up the ice. It's Smith who gets it deep. Elias Holland who picks it up. Holland pops out in front, poked away by Luke Courtney. On the near side, it's back with Alex Smith. Works up towards the blue line, leaves off for his defenseman Hansen, though was taken back by the white team, and here they come. It's led by Ciardello. Fired on, and a nice save by Luke Connolly, who holds on for the stoppage. Face-off will stay far side of the black team zone. We do this all again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. puck drop right here at Trinity Health Arena and right here on YouTube Live. To close out Main Camp 2. Final session on this ice surface as well before it's taken out for the summer here at Trinity Health Arena. Nolan Mardo near side corner of his own zone. Leaves off for the defenseman, Zach Shirky, and now here they come. Holland behind the defense, gets the puck in the corner, out for Mardo. He backhands one on, though it's turned aside by Courtney. Played back into the neutral zone. Up the middle of the ice, thanks to Christian Connors. Mardo far side, backwards for Shirky. Zach Shirky played for Jim McGroarty's 16U Honeybake team this year, alongside Jackson Nakfor, who chases the puck far side. Here comes Strider Carhart now to the offensive zone, met by Shirky, pushes it to the near side. Picked up by Nolan Mardo, chips it up the middle. Here comes Holland with speed, fires a shot into the glove of the netminder, who holds on for another stoppage. Luke Courtney's looked good. The black team has had a couple of grade A scoring chances, but have been met with a couple of grade A saves by Courtney. Remember the Little Caesars 18U AAA team this past season. He's had a strong main camp here in Muskegon and continues to look good here in the All-Star Series. Face-off won by the black team, though immediately taken back by Team White. It's Cash McElmurray working in tight, turned aside by Connolly. Back the other way comes the black team. Rosella held up. Now here comes Braden White back in front, tapped on, great save by Luke Connolly. So a couple of opportunities on each side of the ice with the netminders doing their jobs. Fox, McElmurray, and White still on for the white team. Though Igor Andreev flying through the draw, clears the zone. It's taken right back in by Will Dystad. It was met by Filiaggi, though kept in the black zone. Solomon Wolf leaves off for Rosella. This guy loves to skate, streaking up the ice. Rosella gets it deep to the white zone. It's knocked down and held on to by Luke Courtney, who puts an end to the play with 5:33 to go in regulation. 2-goal game, 3-1 in favor of the white team. 2 goals for Cash McElmurray, the 2010 birth year out of Royal Oak, Michigan. Zach Charbonneau, the 2010 birth year out of Gatineau, Quebec. He'll take the draw, though it's one backwards to A.J. Valenti. Middle of the blue line, he fires on. Blockered out of the air. Big rebound. Picked up in the corner by Foy. Up to the blue line. Here's Valenti far side. Steps into another one. This one goes wide. Foy had it for a moment. Rask takes it away, working on Rylan Hansen. Isaiah House now flips it across the way. Cole Anderson steps in, fires it off the pad of Luke Connolly, and into the netting it goes once again. A.J. Valenti, Zach Charbonneau working together on that last offensive zone shift. A snapshot of what's to come this season here in Muskegon. Charbonneau gives it to Valenti off this draw as well. Though Anderson plays it near side, here's Axel Bisbee. Sends it into the black team zone. Charbonneau gloves it down. It's taken away by Frizzy the third. Down low he finds Isaiah House. Off for Rask behind the net. To the near corner he skates. Back to House, and now on the near side it's Bisbee. Great poke check by Charbonneau, wins possession back for the black team. Zach makes his way up the middle of the ice. Charbonneau far side now on his forehand. Fires a shot just high and wide. And all the way down it goes for Luke Connolly to receive in his own end. Connolly off for Hansen, pushed up the middle. Nolan Mardo had it for a moment, but now Carhart off for Serzhikovs. To the near side it comes. Giardello for Anderson, fired on, and another great glove save by Connolly for a stoppage. Ari Popovsky jumps back on the back end alongside Zach Shirky. Popovsky played this past year Mount St. Charles Academy over on the East Coast in Rhode Island, though he's a Midwesterner at heart out of Illinois. A shot from Carhart, he scores! The follow-up effort after his first shot was blocked, and Strider Carhart makes it a 4-1 white team lead with 3:55 to go in regulation. Well, Carhart had it. Enough time to drink a cup of coffee, maybe eat a donut. Turn and fired, his shot got blocked. Finds his own rebound and taps it to the back of the net underneath of a diving Luke Connolly. Carhart in the group stage. No goals, but 2 assists for 2 points. At the moment, it's an unassisted tally for Carhart. While the black team all focused on offense as they look to come back late in regulation. Trailing by 3, here's Shirky. To the far side, looking for Holland. It comes back to Shirky, who sends it deep. Courtney leaves off for Lukey. Back to Lukey, near side. Up the wall, Serzhikovs. Across the way he goes, Nicholas Giardello. Brown commit, taken away by Holland. Up the far side, Elias Holland. Shaking off the contact, leaves off for a teammate. The shot goes off a stick and out of play. Igor Andreev's unit back on the ice. Jet Zemont and Luca Filiaggi make it Luca Filiaggi and Gianfranco Rosella, the extra forward tonight. Net empty for Casey Mignon's black team squad. Face off won by them. And now here's Andreev. Works up to the blue line and cycles down low. Rosella behind the net to the near side. Filiaggi Up to the blue line for Wolf. Back to Filiaggi. Taken away. Braden White, the empty net. Just inside the far post. And it's a 5-1 lead for the White team with just 2:45 to go in regulation. Braden White was spectacular at finding teammates in the group stage. 3 assists, 4 total points for the Upper Saddle River, New Jersey native through 4 games played. 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points for the Wakefield, Rhode Island native. Braden White made this past year at Williston, Northampton. Prep school hockey product. Joins his line mates McElmurray and Fox on the score sheet. 2.5 to go in regulation. Looking to clear it. Filiaggi unable to. A shot knocked down by Luke Connolly, and now here's Wolf. Off for Connors. Taken away. Here's Fox. Nice move. He couldn't tuck it home. As it comes back out in front, Connolly has to make another save. Fox pushed to the boards by Connors. Flying through, Cash McElmurray. Kept in by Braden White. Taken back by Igor Andreev. He'll lead the rush up the ice. Andreev moves towards the middle, loses his footing, and holding on is Luke Courtney. Well, Luke Connolly on his own half of the ice. It's never a great sight to see a forward making his way alone in onto you. But make it Andrew Fox, and that's just a straight nightmare. A great poke check by Courtney to keep the puck out of the back of his own net. Zach Charbonneau will take the draw far side. Pushes it down towards the corner. Charbonneau comes away with it. Their great stick finds Jace Rask clear the zone. It's pushed ahead by Frizzy III. Connolly way out of the crease, plays it near side. The neutral zone they go. Matejcik ahead. Charbonneau across the opposing blue line to the offensive end, met by Anderson, but keeps possession. Played to the near side. Matejcik gets it off the wall and sends it down low. Though is taken back by Dystad, cleared out of the zone. Anderson will chip it deep as we tick down to 60 seconds to go in regulation. Here's A.J. Valenti. Up the middle of the ice, Valenti. Head up, feet moving, he'll call his own number. Cuts across the blue line and leaves off for Foy. To the near side, fired on, big rebound, comes back to Foy. Now Smith from Valenti gets it down to the far corner. 42 seconds to go in the frame. Back out it comes, fired on, a great save as Rylan Hansen got a pretty pass from Zach Charbonneau behind the net. Luke Courtney has looked spectacular. 24 shots against, 23 saves for the Michigan native. 37 seconds to go in the second half. A 5-1 lead in favor of the White team. Looking to take a 1-0 lead in this 2-game All-Star Series. Axel Bisbee behind the net. Far corner, taken back by Jackson Nakfor. Hops out in front and fires on. Kicked away by Courtney. Now Bisbee met by Holland. Nakfor comes away with it. 17 seconds to go. Jackson Nakfor knocked to his knees. The puck taken away by Chido. Big collision at the blue line. Well, here comes the White team. Up the near side. It's carried in by Zemaitis. Regained by Nakfor, but as the buzzer sounds, time expires, bringing an end to this first game of the Main Camp 2 All-Star Series. It was a good game, that's for sure. A lot of action back and forth between the two teams. But a 5-1 win in favor of the White team. That was the final end of it. So the black team, they had opened the scoring nice and early in the action. It was Zach Charbonneau who found the back of the net to give the black team a 1-0 lead. Charbonneau, the tender signing for the Lumberjacks, a Gatineau, Quebec native. We spoke to him during the intermission, talked about his excitement to be a Lumberjack, talked about going through the QMJHL draft process, and at no point did he regret his decision to sign and come play here in Muskegon. Following in the footsteps of his best friend's cousin, Sasha Boisvert. Thomas, Zach's teammate this year at Mount St. Charles, went first overall to the Huskies in the QMJHL. Congratulations to him and Zach, and I'm sure they're going to keep in touch this year as they both develop for the 2028 NHL draft. But it was Zach Charbonneau who made it 1-0 in favor of the black team. A pretty passing play. Nolan Marto and John Foyne on the assists, but from there it was all about the white team. And Galen Frizzy III, who had 4 goals in 4 games, 6 total points in the group stage of Main Camp 2. He got his team on the board before the end of the first half, tied the game up at 1 apiece before the break, and then from there it was 4 straight goals in the second half. Cash McElmurray scoring a pair of them, Strider Carhart adding 1 in the late stages, and then Braden White getting in on the action with an empty net goal to make it 5-1. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Lumberjacks YouTube page. All-Star Game number 1 of Main Camp 2 is done. All that's left now is All-Star Game 2 tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Catch the action right here on the Lumberjacks YouTube page. 10 a.m. puck drop. We'll start a little earlier. How about 9:45? We'll do a little pregame show. We'll talk about the players, get the highlights from this one, and of course get you set for the final action before the ice here at Trinity Health Arena comes out for this summer. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:45.